The Criticism of Acts by B.B. Warfield. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. In the Church Quarterly Review for October, there is begun a series of articles in which it is proposed, quote, to examine carefully recent criticism on the New Testament and to try to estimate its value, end quote. This first article is concerned with recent criticism of the Acts of the Apostles and apparently does not complete what it is proposed to say on that single book. The old custom obtains in the Church Quarterly Review of putting a list of books at the head of each article, all of which are unsigned, and thus giving to its articles the appearance of veritable reviews. At the head of this article stands the titles of the articles on Acts in the Encyclopaedia Biblica by Professor Schmiedel, and Hastings and Smith's Bible Dictionaries by Mr. Headlam and Bishop Lightfoot, respectively, together with Bluss's new edition of Acts, Potts' book on the Western text and the We source, and Harnack's remarks on the Apostolic Decree and Bluss's hypothesis. The article, however, is largely devoted to the criticism of Professor Schmiedel's article. Only occasional mention is made of Bluss's and Potts' studies and incidental use of Harnack's remarks. Doubtless another article will be given to Mr. Headlam's and Dr. Lightfoot's views. The tone of the article is somewhat assured, although a careful attempt is made to speak with prudence, sometimes with an almost affected diffidence. The standpoint of the writer is thoroughly conservative, except with respect to the history of the canon, and although there is little sign of particularly deep scholarship, there seems to be no real lack of general competence. The opening pages are given to an orientation in regard to the general right of criticism and the rightfulness of recent criticism. Perhaps there is a shade too much protesting here. Who really denies the right and duty of criticism? But these form very readable pages and are soundly reasoned. Recent theories as to the text of Acts are then taken up, and the author's adherence to the conclusions of Westcott and Hort indicated. The, quote, more important questions, end quote, of the author, composition and date of Acts, are then reached and are discussed by means of a running criticism of Professor Schmiedel, whose ingrained partisanship and patent one-sidedness are neatly exposed. The verdict passed on him is severe, but thoroughly justified by the evidence. Quote, there is no fairness nor any power of seeing both sides of an argument. He is not a critic, he is a partisan. End quote. The authorship by Luke, Paul's companion, is not only successfully defended against Schmiedel's attack, but is positively supported by three direct lines of argument, one derived from his silence of Acts as to Paul's epistles, which is best explained by supposing the author to have been in the circle from which they emanated, one from the undeveloped character of the theological language in Acts, one from the complete absence of any reference to monarchical episcopacy. The date of Acts is assigned to 65 to 80 AD. End of the Criticism of Acts by B.B. Warfield.